You know, they say behind every healthy man is a woman. So Cleveland Clinic wanted to find out how men and women view men's health through a survey. So let's see what was revealed from Dr. Sarah Vidge. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me today.
So I'm curious, why is it the clinic decided to kind of include women in this survey and its findings?
So we've done this campaign now for 3 years. In prior years, we learned that men really are not talking about their health. And so this year we decided to also survey their spouses and understand, are they talking about some of these concerns, you know, with their wives? And we learned that they're really not. So our hope here is that these findings in this campaign will start to spark some dialogue at home and encourage men to start talking about their health with their partners.
Was there any findings in why that seems to be the case?
I think that's really the million-dollar question here. I think we don't know why, and it's probably different for everybody, but I think part of the problem is that a lot of the concerns that men develop, particularly as they age, are sometimes embarrassing. They might be, you know, ashamed to admit that they're having concerns with their sexual function or they're having difficulty urinating. So we really just want to get men talking and let them know that these are common and that an evaluation is warranted and we can potentially help.
You know, there was something I found interesting and also a why is people turning to the internet to kind of almost like self-diagnose themselves almost just as much as going to a doctor. Did we get any more information on why that seems to be the case?
You know, I think the internet is available to everybody. It's free, and there's a wealth of information on it. The problem is there's a lot of misinformation. And I think, you know, for concerns that might be embarrassing, it's a lot easier to type it into Google than it is to go see a physician face-to-face and admit some of their concerns. So we really encourage our patients to use the internet, but to not have that replace a visit with a physician to talk about some of the symptoms that you might be having.
And speaking of symptoms, what are maybe some things that men might be ignoring that are actually indicators for bigger issues that we shouldn't be ignoring?
Right, so erectile dysfunction is a big one. So erectile dysfunction can actually be a sign of underlying cardiovascular disease. So it's not something that should be ignored. Additionally, you know, urination problems like getting up several times at night to pee. Sometimes that's from an enlarged prostate, but it can also be due to underlying diabetes or sleep apnea that hasn't yet been diagnosed. So there are a lot of important diagnoses that come from, you know, mentioning some of these symptoms.
Well, and also something that can be preventative or get us to that place are screenings. And for men over 50, are there particular screenings that they should be paying attention to?
Absolutely. So starting at age 50, men should be getting a colonoscopy to screen for colon cancer. PSA test, which is a blood test, screens for prostate cancer, and both of those things can not have symptoms, so it's very important to get those screening tests. And then men should be screened for cardiovascular disease really starting in their 20s at a young age. Well,
I think the big picture of what we're taking away from this, doctor, today is that we need to get a dialogue and communication going, you know, whether it's between ourselves and our partner or our doctor and everything like that. And a great way to kind of start that dialogue is going online and going back over this information we talked about. Where can we go?
clevelandclinic.org/mentionit is the website for our campaign. There's a wealth of information on there.
Well, this is definitely going to hopefully be a good starting point for someone to start on that journey. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.